Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Through the Portal. I am Josh, joined by Ridge. This is the show where we give you updates in the world of Alpha Clash, and as always, we have lots of updates. How's it going, Ridge?
It's good. I'm enjoying the summer in the Midwest, so can't complain too much.
I'm sure that's not as nice as you make it sound. But anyways, we have some exciting stuff. We have some updates on everything that's going on, World of TCG, the comic, novel, but have some big announcements regarding the board game. So we're going to talk a lot about the board game. But let's just start with comic. Comic is in full production.
Yes, comic book is in full production. So now all the comics and the variants and all that, they're being printed currently. I would expect to get those on hand by the end of August at this point. We had a little bit of delay in the, basically getting the art done. Sickness, illnesses, that kind of stuff that just pushed it back a little bit, but we're still on a really good timeline for fulfillment. The playmats and all the knickknacks and stuff that we threw, the add-ons, those are done. Those are shipping. Those are on their way too. So really the last thing that we'll be waiting on is the comics, which is pretty much what the novel campaign was too. But everything's looking really good, and yeah, excited to get that in everyone's hands because it's fun. Yeah,
we're excited to get those out. I know a lot of you have read through the digital one and have gotten some really great feedback on that. But we of course want you all to have it physically in hand because it's a different experience. And then just really quickly, the novel too is getting worked on, right? Al is working away.
Yeah, so I've seen the outline. And wow, it's going to be such a good book. I mean, the first one's great, but man, he's really just doing some great storytelling in the second one. And so we're really excited. We're currently planning on running another Kickstarter for that. No concrete date for it, but Al's working on it, and yeah, it's fun so far.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's kind of our literature update. But then Gen Con is coming up.
Yes, that's next week, and it's going to be a huge event. So we are in Rising Empire Studios is in 3 spots. So we've got an exhibitor booth in the exhibitor hall, and the exhibitor hall is open Thursday through Sunday. Then we have demo tables in the events hall. We're running ticketed events, which are most of them are just demos of the trading card game and the board game. And then on that Sunday, there's an awakening event. And last I saw, it was almost full. There was like maybe a couple more spots left. So if anyone's going to Gen Con, make sure you head over to the page. And if you want to play in the awakening event, play in that. You can earn a tier 3 invite, and you get an awesome awakening playmat. And it's just going to be really
that's just due to the space that they gave us. Like we had to limit it. So get those last few spots while you can.
Yeah, it's limited to 18 people, and we could not get any more tables than that. It was just, that's what it was. And then we are in what's called the first exposure hall also, which is exclusively for the board game. And we've got people that are signing up and will be coming in waves over the course of 4 or 8 hours throughout the whole convention, that are just going to play the board game. And so, 3 spots. We'll have 10 or 12 of us there. It's going to be a great event. We're going to have a Gen Con promo, but these are going to be pretty exclusive. So in order to get these, you have to play the board game. You got to play in the event. Like you can't just walk up to the booth and get handed a card.
Usually we're giving away the promos like that, but this one you have to sit down. So these are going to be limited, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So Gen Con, we went last year, and it was eye-opening because it was hands down the biggest event I've ever been to and had seen.
Crazy.
It dwarfs any other convention that we've been to. And so it was just, had to get it on the list. And yeah, we're excited for what's going to be a really, really fun time.
Yeah, we have a big team going. I'm sadly will not be going. I will be really struggling on a family trip to Hawaii, so cannot make it. But I'm very sad. But I know the team will crush it, and already have some people helping me with content to get some good videos filmed while we're there. So everything is in good hands, but I'm very sad that I will not be there for everyone in attendance.
Yeah, we'll miss you. We'll be busy, but you're going to be having a good time.
And then another event coming up somewhat soon, we announced recently, was Clash Ground Miami, which will be taking place at the Miami TCG convention, and this is in October. It's that first weekend in October, right?
Yeah, the 5th through 6th. It's that Saturday and Sunday, and it's going to be a 2-day event for constructed play. Now, what's really cool about this, it's going to be just like Columbus, Clash Ground Columbus, but the convention space is going to be really great. I've seen the layout. Our booth is going to be there, and then they had talked about, like, for the finals, putting people on stage and like playing and stuff. And so
we're the official TCG of the convention, so we're not just in attendance. We are getting a little bit of the royal treatment from the Miami TCG Con. And I attended last year just as like a human. Like, I just went just to go because I do like cards and I like collecting cards, and so I just went. And part of why I went was because when I was like looking into it, I was like, oh wow, even from Los Angeles, I can do this trip for so cheap. Like, the flights are cheap. Flights are cheap to Miami, I think, just typically because it's a big airport and they have a lot of tourism, blah, blah, blah. So, like, flights are really cheap. There was a free shuttle from the airport to the hotel, so no Uber there. And then the hotel is connected to the convention, so I literally had no ground transportation fees the entire time I was there. It was a great convention. It was a lot of fun. Miami is obviously a great city, but good people, and I really recommend going. And I think it's a really also like going to be a very affordable way for you to come to a Clash Ground event if you haven't yet, or if you have and want to come back for another one.
Yeah, very, very much so, because getting into the convention is pretty cheap. Plus the entry fee, the pricing is pretty good. And then, what's really great about this event too is we're going to do set for pre-release on that Sunday. Okay. So anyone that makes the top 8, they won't be able to play in that, but I don't want to disincentivize anyone to make the top 8, because anyone that makes the top 8 will actually get more pre-release kits and pricing, just for making it and not being able to compete and all that. So set for pre-release that weekend at the Clash Ground, a great city. And like Josh said, it's going to be really affordable. Transportation's easy. The venue's right there. I mean, it's
right. And then you get a discounted price from Miami TCG if you have signed up for our event. So I think it's $55 for both. So if you, I think it's right. I think it's 30 discounted from Miami, and then the 20.
That sounds right. And for anyone that, if you haven't signed up yet, make sure you go to the Alpha Clash site. You can go to the organized play or the events, or even the article might have it on the news section. But you can go to Realm's website too, and that's where you'll be able to sign up. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and I will be there for that one, so we'll see you there. Cool. Let's see. We've got a giveaway going on. We're gonna transition into more stuff about the board game, but we're doing a giveaway right now to help promote the board game. The giveaway is happening on our Twitter, so head to X or Twitter. Head there and just show a screenshot that you are a follower of our GameFound page. So reply to the tweet, retweet it, and reply with a screenshot, and you will get the serialized and signed novel.
Yep, it's number 95. Number 95. And then also,
these are, for whatever reason, one of the hottest commodities in our play mats, the Christmas play mat.
Christmas Haven play mat.
Everyone wants one of these.
Yes, it's a great piece. But you can win both of these in the giveaway. And so if you happen to not win this, that's okay, because there's going to be giveaways from now until the GameFound campaign.
Yes, we're really trying to drive up those follower numbers on the GameFound page. That stuff helps us a lot. So even if you're like I don't need to follow because I'm definitely backing. Like, go follow, create the account, do everything you can, because it helps just on the optics of other people looking, but then also you get the updates when we go live and all that stuff. So make sure you are following the GameFound page. Get your significant other, your brother, your sister, your grandma to do it as well, because it does help us out. And yeah, we'll be running giveaways to help boost the GameFound page here for every one giveaway a week. Ridge has found a whole bunch of goodies that we will be showing off and getting you guys excited about every week. But
yeah, there's so many good things, and what we'll show off in the board game, if you've been kind of on the fence or maybe you're not really into the board game, like I think what we show you and how it'll kind of just tie into everything as a whole for the just an Alpha Clash franchise, I think you'll be genuinely excited. And so we're really gonna, like, our marketing campaign really starts like next week with Gen Con. Like, we've had the page up, we continue to work on the page and all the stuff behind the scenes too. Like, now we're getting ready to push into that. But you know what we don't want to forget is the TCG and the fans of that. We're working hard on
nothing has slowed down there.
No, not at all. 5 and 6, even up until 9.
I was just gonna say, Rich texted me the other day saying he was working on set 9, and I was just like, "What?" That's great.
Yeah, so what's really interesting about like how I operate is we get really into operations at points with like the production, the pre-production, the shipping and logistics and stuff, and the creative brain turns off. But as soon as there's like a little break in the action, it's like I have this cascade of ideas and I know I have to work on them or else they'll kind of just disappear. So yeah, the TCG, really exciting. Next year we're going to be releasing a PvE mode. We'll do an official announcement on that, but like, you know, the foot is fully on the gas for the TCG, and the board game isn't taking a backseat to that, and the TCG isn't taking a backseat to the board game either. We've got teams that operate and work on those things, and we're really just trying to grow Rising Empire Studios, grow the Alpha Clash franchise, and just get just fun games and fun products into people's hands.
Yeah.
Because if people aren't TCG players, like, we want to offer them something that they do enjoy. And if they're not a board game, they want to play the TCG, we have that too. But that's all the future stuff. What's happening right now? Set 4
looks so good.
It's so good. So we have seen the print sheets. Everything is in production right now, and it really does look amazing. And yeah, each set will continue to get better because we bring on new artists and we kind of keep our really, our really awesome artists too. And it just keeps getting better. We're finding our footing in virtually every way. And then the pricing, like the high end cards too, and the treatments and all that. Like, yeah, there's some really cool things coming.
Yeah, I'm excited for everyone to see it. Like, if you've ever been impressed with our art or our foiling or anything in the past, like, I think set 4 will blow it out of the water.
Oh yeah, it to date, set 4 has my favorite card in it. Just to date, artwork, playability, like, it's the total package. We'll talk about that card when we release it.
Spoiler season starting soon.
That's right. Spoiler season starts in August. It'll end the first week of October, because once the pre-release event happens, pretty much all the cards will get spoiled.
Yep.
So everyone be on the lookout for that. We have a great lineup of just people in general that are going to be participating, and it's exciting. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure you pre-order set 4. We have a lot of places to pre-order it. If you're anywhere in the world, there's a chance you can pre-order it somewhere.
Yeah,
that is for you. If you're in Europe, we have several options. If you're in Australia, if you're in the US, tons of options there. Talk to your game store, make sure they're getting their orders in. If you don't have a game store, or you just happen to like to pre-order from others, I know that Team Covenant's got the promo card. Ooh, the promo for Team Covenant on this one is...
Yeah, it has not been... That will be one of the first cards spoiled, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And it's great. Yeah. Patrick Brown did that. We'll spoil the artist. Patrick Brown did that one, and it's really good. So yeah, looking forward to all that thing. So yeah, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you pre-order. And if you want to get your hands on Set 4 early, then you got to be at Miami.
Yep.
You have to.
Cool. All right, let's talk about the board game.
Man, okay, so the exciting
just do it. Just do it, Ridge.
Yeah. So the exciting thing that happened was the board game got shipped to me yesterday or last night, like end of day. So this is a 7-pound box. This thing is hefty. There are a lot of game components in it. Okay, you can see the size of it here. All right, back and everything. Man, it just looks so good. But the board game has arrived. We will be showcasing it at Gen Con. So we're going to have it set up at multiple locations. We'll have it set up at the exhibitor booth, not to play, but just to look at. And so what's really cool about this is if you haven't seen much on the board game, it's set 100,000 years in the past from the modern day story. So you've got characters like Alpha Aster, Genesis, and Clarity, okay, because they're ageless from what you know in the story. And yeah, and then it's got 15 other new characters. So there's 18 contenders that you get to choose. And so 100,000 years in the past gives you a glimpse. It shows 9 different planets. 2 of them you've at least seen in the card game to an extent, Bardaga and Earth. But then there are 7 other planets that you've never heard of or haven't seen. And so those are in there too. And the game is really about accumulating gambit points. Like the way that you win, you have to have the most gambit points. How do you accumulate gambit points? Well, there's a card that helps you keep score as you're going throughout the game. Just get these little spinners, and it tells you how you can earn gambit points. And you can earn them through combat, through conquering planets. And
I remember when you first explained all that to me months ago, you said it's kind of like Mario Party, how you can you get the stars by so many different ways. So it's who has the most stars, but it's not just, it doesn't have to be just like the one way to win. Like there's multiple ways to victory, which I like.
And this game has so much variability in it in a good way of like, it's always going to give you a different feel because you draft your contenders. There's 18 different contenders and you get to choose a team of 3. If you played any classic like World of Warcraft or RPG and you've seen like a class system of like a tank, a healer, and a DPS, you build your team of essentially a tank, a healer, and a DPS. But they're called a Sentinel, which is a tank, a Savior, which is a healer, and your Destroyer, which is your DPS. Your team together will move around the board and you get to conquer planets. And as you conquer planets, then you get the planet card and then you start to get perks. Okay, so as you start to accumulate planets, you're getting gambit points and you're getting perks for that. And then, we tie in the lore. This is Mechadralia. It's like a cyberpunk elf planet, kind of futuristic. Some really cool characters there. But you start to accumulate points and planets and perks, but you're going to be moving around to, do combat as well. And so the game is about fighting. It's about being tactical. If you're playing a multiplayer game, 3 or 4 people, you're going to be pulling on the social fabric, maybe making very short-term alliances for long-term gains and things like that. And just every piece of this looks just so good. So there's 9 planets, and each one has a different conquer and overthrow. So basically, if it's not owned by anyone, then you get to conquer it. Or if you're going to steal it from someone, then you can overthrow it. And there's just different conditions you have to meet. And then it just says the perk on there, which also tells you the same thing on the card. But at the start of the game, you basically turn these face down, you shuffle them around, and then you flip them up. So every game board is going to be the same. And so you've got 9 different planets, and you've got 18 contenders. You've got the combat it'll feel familiar to Alpha Clash TCG, but it's also brand new too. And what's cool is we have a player guide card that just tells everyone, hey, this is your turn order. You get your recovery phase, your armory phase, your action phase, and then your conquest phase. And it just kind of explains all those things. We use a lot of symbols in the game, so it just gives you a reminder of like what symbols are. And then on the back side, it just tells you how to operate with combat. And so it walks you through. What's cool is basically you go to a planet, you target someone, you roll, then you both re-roll. So you each get your own set of dice, and then they all have symbols on the dice and have attack, like 1 hit, 2 hits, shields, and misses. The defenders have misses. And then you'll be playing cards from your armory that you can purchase. Those can be various effects, but you get to use those as combat tricks. And then basically, you know, you'll be using your armory cards, your contender abilities, your dice rolling all throughout, you know, combat and throughout the game in general. But what's really cool is in the game, we've got, of the 18 contenders, they all start on this unrivaled side. And this is Sinai. They all have a passive ability, and then they have their lore. So on this side, it just says like their height, weight, and then it just tells you everything about them. And then it's got their health and everything like that. And then their class symbol. But you can power them up and awaken them. And once they get awakened, then they still have the same passive ability, but now they've got 2 different abilities here. And combat action and support action. There's more an attack, and then more attack or defense. And so then they have cooldowns, which are these spinners, and then your health. And each character has that. So the strategy can get pretty deep with the type of team you want to build, how you're rolling your dice, what armory cards you're buying. Like, there's just so many ways that the game changes. And we had a lot of fun making this game. And it's I'm really excited to get it into everyone's hands. One last thing, we've got in the base version of the game, you've got your acrylic standees, which are, you know, 2-sided, fully colored, for each of the characters, and these are 1.5 standees.
This is my first time seeing those. Even those look great.
Oh yeah. There's Aster, awesome. And so, you know, you'll be putting your, you know, team on team base holders, what we call them, and that's how you kind of move around. But as you get higher in your tiers, you'll either have unpainted minis or you'll get painted minis. And then as the tiers go up, you get different perks in the game. And there'll be just a lot of game found exclusives. So if you're kind of into the collector side or just the exclusivity side, there'll be some really great things. But, you know, overall, the game is super fun. Man, we've been working hard on this for a long time. I mean, we started art on this in December, and we just got it in hand at the end of July. So basically, you know, that's just the pre-production phase. Making the game, it's been about 1.5 years to get to the point that we're at. And I think people are going to have a great time with it. I really do.
Cool. I'm so excited. It looks so great. I'm excited to get mine in hand and start making some videos. And I know some other members of the team have already filmed some stuff that we're going to release soon, because the game is live on Tabletop Simulator. If you want to try out some of the just the mechanics of it and play it for yourself, but obviously it won't compare to playing it in real life with the pieces, with the dials, with all that stuff. So yeah, we're super excited to release a totally new product and just kind of see how everyone responds. But we are feeling confident that it will be well received. Yeah, it's going to be. I know it's going to be great. We have a lot of great people that are working on it. A lot of great minds. Aesthetically, it's appealing. Yeah,
I mean, playing it just feels so good. It's so fun, and it's the Alpha Class universe. And so, if you know us, we always have plans to tie everything together. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these characters find their way into the TCG or other products at some point. And so, yeah, there's just a lot of fun things up ahead, and we can't wait to share what those are. But in the meantime, we get to enjoy what's here and now, and that's the board game.
Yep, for sure. And I'll probably do a whole just like unboxing video soon, just showing you everything a little bit closer. So that'll be coming soon once I get mine in the mail from Ridge. And yeah, keep an eye out for more stuff coming on the board game very soon.
And there should be reviews and tutorials and all that kind of stuff coming down the pipeline over the next few weeks.
Yep.
So obviously we did a pretty expedited, like, oh, you know, here's some components and here's the gist of the game, but we'll really provide the, you know, materials for you to explore more about what the game's about. And I'm excited for those videos to get done.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Anything else, Ridge?
Man, I hope that if you're watching this and you're going to Gen Con, that you stop by, you hang out. Yeah, we're just going to be sitting around playing games, like just having a great time. So the short term, plan is just to go to Gen Con, have a great time, have a good showing, and yeah, that's what I'm really excited about. And we've got tons of fun stuff coming up just in this year alone too.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, hopefully you guys can find our booths there, and more updates coming soon. We'll see you next time.